Okay, so I'm stoked to tell you guys about this, but the Bible's very clear that we are not to base our arguments or our position on visions that we've seen. So I need to ask you not to take anything I say or that I've ever said any more seriously because of what I'm about to tell you. The Bible also says that we're not to worship angels. So I'm in no way encouraging you to try to see angels, try to talk to angels, anything like that. This happened. I didn't ask for it to happen. I was just talking to God and wasn't trying to talk to angels, wasn't expecting to see any, nothing like that. It just happened, okay? The Bible talks about angels a lot. And just ordinary people interacted with them. In fact, I think it was Paul that said that many of you have interacted with angels without knowing it. So it sounds like they can present themselves in all kinds of different forms. So in this case, they weren't anything like I would have imagined. So here's what happened. This is 30, 40 years ago, and I'm driving down from Calgary in Canada to Butte, Montana, United States. Doing a patent search on one of my first inventions, and back then, you couldn't just Google stuff. There was no such thing. We didn't even have a computer. In fact, nobody did. If you wanted to do a patent search, you had to drive down to a patent office and search through boxes in the basement. So that's what I did. It was a long drive, and on the way down, I was getting bored. And it's important, I think, to mention that I wasn't doing drugs, didn't have anything to drink. I was completely sober, sane. I was just bored. I was listening to my Christian music tapes, and I was bored of that, and so I just turned everything off, and it's like, I'm just going to start praying. So I prayed for my friends, I prayed for my family, prayed for everything I could think of. Then I got bored of that. I just ran out of stuff to pray for. And I don't know, for the first time ever, for whatever reason, it just occurred to me that praying could be just talking to God. And so I just started talking to God. Like, what do you talk to God about? I don't know. He already knows everything. So I started just telling him how I felt about stuff. And I was thinking about all the times when it seemed like God had pretty much saved my life. All the stupid things I'd done, all the things that weren't even my fault, like almost drowning in the bathtub when I was a kid. And I started thinking about my dad, because my grandma always said that my dad's guardian angel used to work up a sweat. He was just always getting into stuff. And I remember the story one time he was driving home from the field on one of these tractors with the big wheels and the big axle sticking out the back. And he was checking the gas cap like his big brothers used to do, and drove off for the road. Tractor rolled, threw him off of it. He lands, and the axle comes and lands right between his arm and his head. And he said that he watched the sunset as his head was pinned to the ground, and the other wheel was spinning, and the engine ran out of gas. So his head was a little squished after that. He was cross-eyed and had to climb trees with one arm, but his guardian angel was working up a sweat that day. And so I got to thinking about all the times that if they'd happened any differently, I wouldn't be making this video right now. And I knew I wasn't supposed to talk to angels or anything crazy like that, but I was just talking to God about whatever was on my mind. So I said, Lord, I know I'm not supposed to talk to angels. That's clearly not what I'm supposed to do. But I don't know if it's one angel or a dozen or whatever, and I'm sure they were just doing it out of obedience to you. But whatever angels had obeyed you and keeping me alive, or whatever it was they've been doing to help me in my life, I'd just like for you to give them a thank you for me. I'm right in the middle of explaining to God that I'm sure that, I'm never gonna find out till I'm on the other side if you actually answered that prayer. When I remember the exact place this happened. It's coming down this big long hill. I'm gonna go back there someday. I'll bring you guys with me. Coming down this big long hill, and there's a big field on the right with these big snow fences or something. And on the left, there's 3 hills, and they're all full of pine trees, but the one in the middle, all the pine trees have like this shimmering spirit or something. Now, I've tried 100 times to figure out, did I make this up? Excuse me. And it just didn't happen in a way that I would have made up. So that doesn't prove it's true or anything like that, but if I was going to imagine angels, they'd be big warriors with wings and shields, and no, these were just like shimmering things. I couldn't even see them with my eyes. I just knew they were there. Maybe I did see them with my eyes because I can describe them. They look like, I do my best here to, they look like this. And yeah, I've gone back there so many times since that happened in my mind, and just trying to figure out if this actually happened. And I know that it happened in the sense that I experienced it, because I'm driving along and all of a sudden I'm like, I need to look over there. And there's a couple hundred angels. And my response, I waved at them. And if I'd made this up, it would have been like, they'd all be going, "You're welcome," or something like in response to what I prayed, but no. They were cheering for me. But not like, "Yeah, you're awesome." They were cheering, and I knew exactly what they were all saying, and it was, "You're going the right direction." And that was it. I look back at the road, back at them. Most of them have gone. Look back at the road again, back at them. There's 2 or 3 left, and look back again, they're all gone. And I just had this sense that they were like on the other side of the world already, doing something else they were called to, but God had just brought them all there for that moment, let them in on my thoughts. And that was just their natural response. So I'm not saying this so you guys can go looking for angels, because trust me, after that I was looking for angels everywhere. And nope, no more angels. That was it. That's my angel story for life. To this point anyways. But the Bible says that angels are active constantly in our lives. And so is the other side. We need to be really careful with this stuff, because Bible says that Satan presents himself as an angel of light, as a beautiful woman with wings. That's the first way you know that it's a lie. There's no female angels. Remember that, you guys. The enemy is a liar. So he's going to deceive us any way that he can. So why would God do that for me? But I'm hoping that he chose to show that to me so I can encourage you guys that we've got angels all around us. And they're not just doing their own thing. They're part of an army that Jesus is commanding. The Bible says that he has set his angels in charge of us, or something along those lines. I'll look it up. I'll put it here. But you're not alone, even when it seems like it sometimes. So there you go. Talk to God. Tell him how you're feeling. Don't expect to see angels when you do, but he wants to hear from you. He just loves hearing from us. We're his kids. So there you go. Love you guys. Love to hear from you in the comments. It's baseball out. Are you ignoring Jesus when he talks to you? Check out this video to find out.